in case. But I will say this, I got an email this morning from John Wetmore. Jasmine, you probably got the same one, knowing you. And I thought it was really, really good, honestly. Um, oh my gosh, I hate when they do that. Um, but he was talking, I forwarded it to Tyler as well, but he was talking about some important stuff. Yep, I'm attaboy, Jim. Attaboy. I knew you were a winner, Jim. I knew that proved it right there. I was curious. I was on the fence, but definitely a winner now that you get John Wetmore's emails. But I was reading it in the McDonald's drive-through line, and it's a topic that we don't talk about enough, is and I think Casey Watkins talks about it all the time, the four different phases that people go through. But let me see if I can write this down. You guys got something to write with? I hope so. I hope you came prepared. We're going back to the postcard today or a note card. There we go. Note card. We'll go note card. I'll take a quick note here. Because we haven't gone over this in a hot minute. I gotta find a pen that works. Oh, please. Does this one work? There we go. I don't have to have as many pens now that we don't go in people's homes, but that's neither here nor there. But there's a uh there's a competency square that I'm gonna draw for you rascals. All right. Now we're gonna go over it real fast because there's some people that are on the verge of quitting and they don't know why. Okay? Yeah, that type of thing, right? It looks like this. Very pretty. I know. I know. You know. Um, but on the top, it's called what is it? Unconsciously incompetent. Is that right? I don't have this in front of me. This is going off of memory, but I know we're close. I know all of them say competent at some point. Unconsciously incompetent. What does that mean? Right? That's a brand new agent. Throw a five in the chat if you are brand new to the insurance industry, probably even the sales industry, and you have not been here for more than 30 days. Well, no, let's not say that because that's not actually accurate. Let's say that made, you haven't booked 100 appointments yet. There we go. There we go. We'll do it based off because some people could do that in a week or two. Doesn't take necessarily 100 days. Okay. All right. So at this phase right here, you don't know what you don't know. Okay. You're bad at this probably, and you don't know. You might be good at it, but you ain't got a clue what's going on. You are unconsciously incompetent. Even if you did do something well, you wouldn't know that you did it well. You guys follow me on this? You guys hear me okay? Tyler, you hear me all right? You guys follow me? Okay. This is very important for you leaders out there that want to make some money, and help people understand why they feel like quitting. All right. This is something that you need to know. You need to understand this, but you're unconsciously incompetent, right? You're getting in dial team and everybody's excited. You don't even know what the damn numbers mean. It's like you ever get those texts, Tyler, what does this mean? I see this number and then there's a dash and this number. The hell is this? I don't know what it means. I remember when I sent that message into the Delaney chat, right? I remember that when I sent that in there almost 7 years ago. I recall. Okay, you have no clue what you're doing at that point, and if you did it well, you wouldn't know, and if you did it poorly, you didn't know. Okay, this is one of those places where you just kind of start, right? It is what it is per se, and then after you've been here for a while and you get a little bit of reps, you round this corner here, and this is the area that honestly, makes me want to slam my head through a wall and not running, right? Not from excitement, but from like, damn it, it's because we're consciously incompetent. Now it's like, oh man, I suck and I know why I suck, right? It's like, man, I can't get people to book appointments because I'm talking too fast. I don't know how to overcome this objection. You guys ever got to that point? It's like, I just don't know how to overcome a think about it. That's called consciously incompetent. You know what you suck at, you just don't know how to overcome it. You guys follow me? Right? And then there's this crazy little there's a circle. It's a circle right there, right? A circle with a th, a circle. Okay, and that circle is a zero fun place. This is where dreams go to die. Okay, You know what I'm saying? You can call it what you want to. You can call it hell. You can call it the pit of despair. You can call it the quitting phase. I don't care what you call it. Okay? You ain't got to name it if you don't want to, but I'm gonna let you know about it. It was always called to me the pit of despair. Okay? What is the pit of despair? Well, before we talk about the pit of despair, let's talk about what it looks like to come out of it, right? To get on this little line right here. All right. So we've got at the top, we first got here, we are unconsciously incompetent. We suck. We ain't got a clue why. Maybe we're good. We still don't know why. Follow me? And then we have been here for a while. We've done some reps. We've done some reps. We've done some reps. Now, I want to be clear, if you've done no reps, you're still unconsciously incompetent. Some people stay in that unconsciously incompetent phase forever because why? Because they go and start training till the cows come home with no actual reps. So they are hypothetically trained at this. It's like being a brain surgeon, you've only studied in books. You've never actually been in the brain surgery with a master brain surgeon and seen it done, put your hands on the brain. You guys follow me on that? It's like, man, I don't think I would trust that person in the surgery. Don't worry, they're never going to have the courage to do it anyway. Okay? Some people are there. I was there for a long time, just being clear with you guys in this business. All right? Now we're consciously incompetent. All right? There's holes in our game. There's objections that we get on the phone. We ain't got a damn clue. We're just trying stuff, trying stuff, trying stuff. We don't understand it enough to overcome it. We don't know why they're saying they have to think about it. So what we're doing in that phase is what we're trying to probably give so much context. Tyler, I know you were at this point for a while. I was at this point for a while too, but we're trying to give so much context that we avoid the think about it when in reality, maybe in that situation, we just didn't understand the client enough. We didn't understand the sales process enough to know why we got to think about it in the first place. Okay. It's like not digging into the why enough, and all we keep doing is lowering the price. It's like, but it was $17 a month, Jim. I know they can afford it. Why do they have to say they have to think about it? It ain't got a damn thing. They make 5 grand a month. It ain't the price. They say it's too expensive. They're lying, but you don't know that because you're incompetent. You guys following me still? I hope so. I'm talking fast, okay? I'm a little bit, again, it's not crack, it's pre-workout and leg day. I did legs today, right? We'll talk about that in a second, Luann. It was rough, okay? I thought I was gonna pull something, but I've never been hurt, so I don't think that way. So then we've got the pit of despair. On the other side of the pit of despair, this line at the bottom here, okay, is called consciously competent. This is a rough, rough place here. I stayed in this place for so long. What does that mean? It means that we know what to do, we know how to do it, and we have to think about how to do it at all times. It is mentally effing exhausting in this phase because we have to be so laser focused. Like for me, I was this is when you've been here for 12 months and you still have the script in front of you just in case. You follow me? I remember that. I had it handwritten. You say things the exact same. Okay? And sometimes we're in a point there where we're not able to pivot appropriately. Why? Because we didn't go over that training yet. We don't know how to do that. We don't trust ourselves. This is a phase where we really don't truly trust ourselves. We know how to get results and we trust the system, but we don't trust ourselves. So if we get a curveball sometimes, we might not handle it well. You guys follow me on that? Like if we're talking like I've never heard trust in ourselves in this, but I think that's a good place to put it. We don't have a whole lot in that situation there. Okay? And then the last little phase there is consciously competent, which is fun time. All right? That's fun. That's in my opinion where the discipline starts. Okay? That's because you know what you're doing and you don't have to think about it anymore. Okay? Like you guys ever been driving down the highway and you turn on the radio because maybe you were in a conversation when you got in the car. Go with me here for just a second, Al Hoffman. But maybe you and your spouse were having a conversation. Not anything deep, but you're having a conversation, and then conversation ends, and you're like, "Hey, I'll listen to some music," and then you turn on the radio, and it's very rare you turn on the radio and a song starts from the beginning. Normally, you hit a song halfway through, right? And it's a song that you know in your knower. Like you don't have to think about it. And it's just like you know the next word, you know what song it is, you know when it was written, you know every damn thing about it, and you just start singing it, and it ain't like there's a question mark of like, well, damn, I was in the wrong part. No, you know exactly where you were. You guys know songs like that sometimes too. It's like if you turn on the TV and you're watching, I don't know, let's say, what's a movie everybody knows? That's rough. What's a movie everybody knows? I don't know. There's a lot of different people up here.
Avengers.
Avengers, absolutely not, Al. I would have no idea what's going on in the Avengers, but I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at, right? I will know. My wife knows. My wife knows for sure. She can tell you which Batman it is, like all of it. Harry Potter. There you go, Tori. Yeah, Lion King. Okay, yeah, Forrest Gump. I was thinking Forrest Gump as well, Janita, but then I, swallowed my pride. I was like, I don't know that movie that well. There's movies where you turn it on and you just know where you are. You can start quoting it day one. Maybe y'all ain't like that. I'm like that. And you're going to be like that with your script as well. You're going to walk into the office, right? Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. That's good, Al. You're going to go into the office and your agent, right, in Lumberton is going to be midway through the phone call. You're going to hear him say one thing and you're going to know exactly where he is in the script. That is unconsciously competent. Okay. When you're at the beginning of that appointment, Tyler, and you hear them give a little, you hear hesitation, like they didn't hesitate, but you heard hesitation. You guys ever heard that? Like, y'all probably haven't yet. You haven't been here long enough. You don't have enough reps, time under tension. But like you know it, James. Like you hear it and you're like, yeah, this is a thinker here. I got to really pour in the why. Like you freaking know if they're buying or not. Okay? That's like Devin Johnson literally can scroll. I've seen him do it, and it pisses me off to no end. He will be overcoming a think about it, scrolling on Instagram while also texting his wife. I've never seen anything like it. He's that competent. Okay? He's that competent. Would you like to be that good? Okay. Well, you got to get out of this pit of despair that you're in right now. Okay? You got to. And I think the biggest way of getting out of the pit of despair, because once we get in the pit of despair, it's a mind game, right, Tyler? It's a mind game to where y'all know the four cornerstones, right? I did not prepare for this at all, but I feel like I'm really in the zone. Y'all know the four cornerstones. What's the first one? Please, somebody either say it or throw it in the chat.
Belief.
There you go, Al. That's why you make money, Al. It's belief. It's not just belief in life insurance. It's not just belief in the system. It's not just belief in yourself, but it's like this confidence that you can do it. You guys ever been calling leads and you just thought they weren't going to show up? You guys ever been in an appointment and been in that place of like, what's the freaking point, man? That is the hardest part of the pit of despair. Because when you have that attitude, regardless of how hard you try to fake it, people sense it. They sense it. Okay. So we've like, when I'm telling you, until you get to this last little point here, there's a level of obsession that this business takes to get there. Okay. And the faster you go and the faster you grow and the more consistent and disciplined and like just dialed in that you are, you don't even have to be good, but you got to master that schedule. You got to know where you're going to be. You got to believe that you're going to get results. Like I remember, Tyler, I wasn't even in the pit of despair yet, right? But there was a point where I was consciously incompetent. Actually, I was probably unconsciously incompetent. I was an idiot, but I remember that I went up to Devin and I said, Devin, I don't understand. Like, why am I not getting results? And I was honestly, I was so naive because I was making $47 a week off of a $47 lead investment. Like, I didn't know, right? I was unconsciously incompetent. And he wasn't mad at me. How could you be mad at somebody that doesn't know what they don't know? For you leaders out there, why are you like hammering people? They don't know that they got to make three, four, five, 600. They don't know what it takes. If they knew what it takes, maybe they'd do it. We got to remind them, pour them into this call. Okay. Like they didn't get on the call this morning. Why didn't they get on the call? They probably forgot. Maybe we assume positive intent. Different conversation. But I remember he came to me. He was like, well, the system, have you ever seen the four keys to a successful week? And I was like, I got no idea what you're talking about. That's what I told him. No idea what you're talking about. And he said, go look it up on HQ or SFG Life or whatever the hell it was back then. He said, and then tell me what you think you're doing wrong. And I was ready to win. I was tired of being a pansy ass, honestly. I think it's a good word, good phrase there. It's what I was being, Luann. And I said, got it. And then the system said, and I went and listened to Working Older Leads. I went to listen to, if you guys haven't listened to Working Older Leads, my God, like grow up, go listen to it. Okay. Please go listen to it. That's where I learned the four keys. Like I learned it there. I didn't just study a piece of paper. I listened to a SoundCloud because I got cussed out 4 times. All right. And then like I listened, and then I couldn't sell critical period. So I had to go listen to What We Say in the Home. I'd never listened to it. I'd never done that discovery. I did it for myself, changed my life. And I realized that you can outwork anything that you don't know. They said, listen, back then, now the numbers have changed. It's more like 300 calls a day. Back then, it was 300 calls in 2 days. Okay. But the difference is that we get to sit our asses at home in a comfy chair. Back then, we used to drive. Okay. So, pick your poison. But Friday evening, we never dialed Friday morning, but Friday evening, Saturday morning, your ass was on the phones. And if you didn't get the appointments by Saturday morning, your ass was dialing Saturday afternoon. And if you didn't get them then, my God, Sunday, buckle up. Sorry, family. I'm not driving 3 hours one way to sit with two people. Follow me? So that's what we had to do. And I remember the founders, Brandon and Casey, they said these two things. They said, if you invest in leads and get fresh resources every week, and you make 300 calls every single weekend in a 2 day period, you will start to write 5K a week after about a 3, 4, 5 week period. And I said, okay. And I did that for 12 weeks in a row. 12 weeks in a row. And I wrote 5K, 9 of them. From no experience, I was 20, I just turned 23. No experience. Nothing. You guys follow me on that? Devin, I remember the first week I booked 7 appointments, and then it was 9, and then it was 11, and then I went back to 9. Devin looked at me like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, got it. Perfect. 12, 15. Then it never fell below 15. It was like, you mean if I just sit my ass in this chair longer and get more leads, I can always get to 15? My trust wasn't in me, it was in the system. And that got me. That got me. I'm trying to coach you through this four little thing here, right? This little square here by telling you my story, parts of it. But there was a point where that wasn't enough. Okay? Because it is very nerve-wracking going into a dial team Friday when you don't believe in yourself whatsoever. Okay. Eventually, you're going to have to learn this damn thing. You're going to have to understand the psychology of it. Like, don't you want to like fall into a conversation or somebody call you back and you just know what to say? Well, you better study. Jesus Christ. Like, you got to focus, like, you got to get obsessed with it. Okay. Like, I remember Brandon Nelson, I can hear it like it was yesterday. He was like, you can't sit, on the couch all day watching Judge Judy and expect to be rich. Like, you ain't gonna just fall out of Jimmy Spildender said you're not just gonna fall out of bed here and make 6 figures. You gotta work. You gotta be intentional. You gotta focus. Okay? All the material was out there. My God, just go into YouTube. They got more sales training than you know what to do with. There's leads. Jim can get you some. The system, there's leads everywhere. Jesus Christ, you know people. What's your excuse for not winning today? It's probably up here because you don't think that you're gonna. Look around. Okay? Look around. Look at the ones that are winning consistently, and then look at the ones that are not. What are the ones that are winning consistently doing? That's all we talk about here every single day. What are they doing? What's their attitude? Y'all ever notice Tyler Brewer averages about 5,500 a week, and every time he gets up here this morning in the morning, he's just fired the hell up. He's here every single day. If he's not here, it's because he's fishing. Half the time it's because I told him to. I'm like, dude, you need to go fishing. You're going to kill somebody. Those are our serious conversations, Al. I tell you this stuff because I care about you. Okay. The pit of despair is coming. You might as well get ready for it. You going to have enough momentum to go out of it, or are you going to blame your upline? I've done both because there's different levels of the pit of despair. You're going to get one whenever you're writing insurance. You're going to get one whenever you're trying to teach other people to write insurance. You probably have another one whenever you try to teach other people how to build. All right. So what's your target today, activity wise? And don't effing miss it. You owe that to yourself. You owe that to your kids if you have them. If you don't, you owe it to your future kids. That's the game I used to always play, Hakola. I was like, I know I want to be a dad. I tell you this, I tell you this, and then I got to get out of here. But I remember that was always my like I was always working, Tyler, for whenever I was a husband and a father. I was always working for that point. That's all I focused on every day. It was like, I know I want this. I got to become the type of person that can. I got to become the type of person that can. And for like six, I don't know, several years, that's all I focused on. And then I got married and then I had my son. And the entire year, this year, that happened, I've been able to work no more than 2 weeks in a row at a time. I spent 8 weeks in the hospital this year. And I've got far more money in my bank account now than when the year started. Why is that? Long obedience in the same direction. It's because of the work we did for 5, 6, 7 years before. And you know what? That shit ain't gonna get me where I'm gonna go though. It's time to get our asses back in gear, get back to work, and have some fun, okay? Because we're allowed to get rich here. Fair? See you guys at the fucking top. Let's go to work.